Sherwood Talbot Little Theatre proudly presents Sherlock Holmes and the Adventure of the Blue Carbuncle. Part 1.
I called upon my friend Sherlock Holmes the Sunday before Christmas with the intention of wishing him the compliments of the season. Further to this, I had two marvellous pieces of news for him. My account of our latest adventure, that peculiar case of a scandal in Bohemia, is to be published in the Times, albeit with some minor adjustments. The title and most of the words thereafter. Secondly, I had in my hand a telegram summoning Holmes to Buckingham Palace. No doubt the start of our next exciting adventure. Only when I arrived at Holmes's digs at 221B Baker Street, a great commotion was already underway.
Holmes, for the last time, I will not slide the kipper under the door and throw myself off the roof.
I insist you do, Mrs. Hudson.
Mr. Holmes, you will come out this instant and have breakfast, or I'll be forced to break the door down.
I'd like to see you try.
Very well, if that's how you want it. On the count of 3. 1, 2, 3.
Mrs. Hudson, what in heaven's name are you doing? Is something the matter?
Oh, Dr. Watson, thank goodness you've come. Mr. Holmes is in one of his moods again. He hasn't eaten for 3 days and has locked himself inside. He's gone mad.
I'm sure Holmes hasn't gone mad.
Yes, I have.
You see? Mad.
You'd better leave this to me, Mrs. Hudson. I am, after all, a trained physician.
Very well, but I'll have no more of this. I've got a Christmas feast to prepare, goose and all the trimmings, and I shan't be letting it go to waste.
Holmes, come now. This is all a bit rum, don't you think? I have wonderful news that I'm sure will cheer you up.
How wonderful.
Oh, very, very wonderful, Holmes. A noxious and poisonous atmosphere billowed out. He'd been using again, as was his nature when understimulated, when there was no puzzle to occupy his great intellect, when there was no game afoot. Holmes, look at the state of you. You really are a rotten mess. I should give you the once-over. No wonder Mrs. Hudson is concerned.
Concerned? Mrs. Hudson has done her very best to disturb my monastic solitude for 3 whole days. It's a miracle these walls are still standing. She has the upper body strength of a sailor and fists like anvils.
Let me examine you.
No, I know precisely my ailment. I'm bored. There's nothing to stimulate me, to ignite my deductive powers, to exercise my mind. Do you know the sort of anemic problems I've been pestered with? So ordinary I could weep.
You need not worry any more, Holmes. I've received a telegram from...
Take, for instance, this bowler hat, Watson.
Yes?
This hat is missing.
Is it?
Yes.
Oh, how strange. Anyhow, this telegram was sent to me by none other
The
than...
greatest private detective in the whole world, and I am asked to find the owner of a hat. A hat!
What happened?
Peterson, that constable whose beat takes him round these parts, brought it me along with a very fine goose. He was walking home one night to find another man being attacked. The man raised his arm to defend himself, but accidentally broke a window. Peterson blew his little whistle, and the attacker scampered. Fortunately, the owner of this appalling piece of headgear must have thought that Peterson was going to arrest him too. And so, here is the article in question, and downstairs the goose. Peterson brought it to me in the hope I could identify the owner.
And how have you done?
I studied the hat a little with a lens, briskly deduced the owner, locked myself in the bedroom and screamed for 5 hours. Then I got high, passed out, and woke violently from a dream about being chased round Trafalgar Square by a 12-foot Nelson.
Oh, so not very well then.
Look at this hat, Watson. What can you gather from it? Tell me about the individuality of the man who has worn this old battered felt.
Oh, well, let's see. Apart from the size of the owner's head and these initials HB.
Yes, Henry Baker. A label was affixed to the dropped goose with that name, which we can assume is not the name of the goose itself. Can you identify anything else about him?
From this? No, it's just an ordinary old hat, isn't it? I can see nothing.
Oh, on the contrary, you see everything. You fail, however, to reason from what you see. Observe. This man is, of course, highly intellectual. He was fairly well-to-do in the last 3 years, but has since fallen on hard times. No doubt there has been some moral retrogression. This may be due to the fact that his wife no longer loves him.
My dear Holmes.
It's extremely probable that Baker does not have gas laid on in his home. He has a fear of ghosts and believes that he shares his room with one, perhaps two.
Holmes, really?
He has a keen yet surreptitious passion for synchronized swimming.
Stop!
He has a hook for a hand.
Holmes, how could anyone deduce all that from a single hat?
It is perfectly simple. I know he is an intellectual because a head this large must contain something substantial. This hat is 3 years old. These flat brims curled in at the edge came in then. But see here, look at this band of ribbed silk and the excellent lining. If Mr. Baker could afford such a luxury 3 years ago and has had no new hat since, he must have gone down in the world.
Certainly very plausible. But what of your other deductions? What does this specimen say of how little his wife loves him?
Watson, if your wife permitted you outside in this sorry piece, I would question her affections for you. She no longer cares for him, and before you ask, the gas, 1 tallow stain, an accident, 2, 3, circumstance, but 4, 5, they live by candlelight.
Ghosts? The hook for a hand? The synchronized swimming?
Do you detect the aroma, Watson? Burnt sage. The superstitious use it to banish evil spirits. As for the hook, mark the brim here to the right. The telltale scratches in the felt. And observe. A ticket to the baths hidden in the lining.
Bravo, Holmes! This is fantastic! That you could get all that from a hat! How exciting!
Despite this hat capturing my attention for a short spell, I am still unequivocally bored to tears. I need a case, Watson. Isn't there a single mystery in this city that only Holmes can solve? Either Scotland Yard has been given lessons in competence, or the criminals have become as stupid as the police. I'm dying, Watson. I'm simply dying.
Well, how does the theft of a priceless jewel interest you?
Really, Watson? You're not playing, are you? There's been a theft.
I have in my hand a telegram from Buckingham Palace about this very matter. Rare jewel stolen. Stop. Request urgent assistance of the world's greatest detective.
Why didn't you mention this sooner? No matter, hail a cab, will you? Oh, what marvellous news, marvellous! Quickly now, quickly! To the palace! Oh, and bring the kipper. I'm starving.
Are you ready, Victoria, mein klein bunny mouse?
Yes, I'm ready.
Are your delicate peepers closed?
They're closed.
No peeking now?
Oh, Albert, I'm so excited I could burst.
Here!
It's wrapped up so nicely. The purple paper, the gold bow. What a fine-looking gift. May I open it now?
But it's not Christmas yet, my little honey cake.
Oh, we can wrap it back up and nobody would know the difference, my big caramel shoe.
Well, we would know, and then there'd be no surprises on Christmas Day. That is half the fun.
Oh, what harm could it do? And anyway, I already know what it is, if I know my big love cabbage.
Oh, what is it?
If you think I don't know about the mysterious German gentleman who bought the world's most beautiful stone at Christie's 4 months ago and then disappeared, well, you don't need to be Sherlock Holmes to piece that mystery together. You've bought me the blue carbuncle, haven't you? Oh, please let me open it.
Perhaps just this once. But first we're under the mistletoe, yes?
Oh, Albert.
Oh, Victoria.
Oh, Albert.
Oh, Victoria.
Your moustache, it tickles.
Now, opens your present.
Oh, I can hear it rattling round. It's... Oh, snakes. It's a silly practical joke. I love practical jokes.
Oh, we will keep the real surprise for Christmas, my love.
You'll see about that, my hot glass of schnapps.
My little button-nosed badger.
My big hairy moose.
Pardon me, ma'am. Sir, there are 2 gentlemen here to see the prince. Mr. Sherlock...
Thank you, Ryder. I shall seize them immediately. They've come to measure for a hat. Very boring stuff.
Oh, very well. I still have some presents to wrap. I shall see you later, my lusty little Wiener Schnitzel.
My little squeezy bumblebee.
Auf Wiedersehen.
Ryder, show them through. Schnell, schnell. Oh, Gott in Himmel, Albert, you're on the sticky wicket.
Mr. Sherlock Holmes and Dr. John Watson.
Your Highness, my compliments of the season.
Mr. Holmes, thank God you have come. I am in the most awful pickle, and I don't know where to begin. My liebchen expects the Schatz this very Christmas Day, and I can't disappoint her.
Pardon me, Your Highness. Her Majesty is expecting what?
The Schatz. I plan to surprise her with the Schatz.
I thought that's what you said. Holmes, he wants to give Queen Victoria the Schatz. He can't. I mean, as a physician, I couldn't condone.
Watson, my dearest friend, Schatz is the German for treasure.
That is what I'm saying. The Schatz, the Schatz. Oh, how I long for my Victoria to have the Schatz. What is Christmas without the Schatz? It is nothing, I tell you, nothing. Oh, I could not bear to disappoint my sweet little apple strudel. So excited for Christmas is she, that I get not an ounce of rest. But I made to lie to my little sugar mouse. I tell her, do not worry, smooch ball. Soon you will have the Schatz. But inside, I am falling apart.
Of course, this Schatz you speak of, it is the blue carbuncle, is it not?
Why, Mr. Holmes, how could you have known?
I heard of the mystery buyer at Christie's, the wealthy stranger, military in stature, peregrine in accent, a private collector in every respect. Why, Prince Albert, what other explanation could be more fitting? But now the real work begins. Tell me of how this stone was purloined. Leave no detail unsaid.
Yeah. Ryder here will explain.
Sir?
This is James Ryder, my manservant. Tell Mr. Holmes how it happened.
Oh, very well. The fire grill in my master's study needed soldering. And so Mr. Horner, who we later discovered to be swift of hand, was engaged to see to its repair. Its repair. Its repair. Its repair. It's repair. It's repair.
All right, Governor, this it?
Yes, the grill, here.
Great, oh, nice gaff, this.
This is Buckingham Palace.
Yeah, nice, detached and all. What I wouldn't give for a place like this. Go, how the other half live, eh?
Just see to the grill, Horner. The royal ice sculptress will be arriving on the hour, and I'd rather hope you'd be finished.
Blimey, look at this.
What?
Oh, is that a genuine Egyptian sceptre owned by Ramses himself? Well, I ain't never seen the like. And is that a pearl-encrusted Prussian poof? Oh, I cower in the presence of such opulence, sir.
Less talking, Horner. I need this grill fixed.
Crikey! Oh, if it ain't an amethyst-studded moustache comb. Oh, what riches! And to think I was impressed with that gold-leaf toilet paper they got in the car seat.
That's
for the peerage!
Oh, I used it for more than my peerage, I can tell you that for nothing. Oh, what's in this box here?
Hands off!
Blimey, if it ain't the biggest sapphire I ever did see.
Put that down immediately. Sapphire indeed. That's the famous blue carbuncle, the most splendid diamond in the world. Fingers.
All right. I was just admiring the place, all right.
Get on with the job at hand. I have to be in the dining room to replace the bust of the Queen in 5 minutes.
Oh, replace the bust of the Queen. Oh, that's well for you. Detachable knockers. Oh, what class. What plenty.
No, you imbecile. The bust of a head. The ice sculpt, just as I mentioned.
Oh.
We're here early. Now stay here and don't touch anything. I'll be back as soon as I can. 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 When I returned, the scoundrel Horner had vanished, and so had the blue carbuncle. That is all I can say, sir.
You have a fine memory, Ryder.
It is photographic, sir.
So you want Holmes to track down this disappearing Horner and return the diamond to you?
But that is where you're wrong, Dr. Watson. It is only the stone that is missing, as we have already apprehended the schweinhund. It is only the blue carbuncle that remains missing to us.
How do you mean?
Inspector Gregson of Scotland Yard has already arrested Horner and is currently under the lock and key at Pentonville, awaiting trial. But it is the diamond, Mr. Holmes. There is neither the sight nor the sound of it. The police have searched high and low. That is why I have brought you here. I am prepared to pay you 500 guineas for the return of the stone by Christmas. There is nothing on this earth more valuable than the joy in my little brandy snap's eye. What do you say?
Your Highness, it occurs to me that you had better spend that money by advertising a reward in the paper. Wherever the blue carbuncle has been spirited to, you would sooner see it returned by offering a ransom.
But I can't, Mr. Holmes. What if the Queen was to read about it in the paper? She would be devastated.
So be it. 500 guineas, 600, 7. I will not take this case.
You what?
Holmes!
You refuse the case?
I refuse it. I decline, reject, spurn and shun it.
But you will make the Queen very unhappy. She will be distraught.
I ask you, what of this matter requires my talents? This case has already been solved. You have your culprit. A lost trinket, no matter how singular, is of little interest to me. Good day to you.
I'm so sorry, Your Highness. I don't know what's got into you.
Watson, my prince, heed my advice. Place a reward in the paper, and no sooner has the ink dried, the blue carbuncle will be returned to you. Ryder, a cab. Merry Christmas.
What despair, what misery.
Oh, Albert,
Oh, yes, my sweet hot slice of love.
can I open my present now?
In just a moment, my little Humpty Dumpty Doodle. Albert, you really are in the shats this time.
You're awfully quiet, Holmes.
Quiet. The first mystery to spark my interest in weeks, and I discover it has already been solved. Misery abound. Confound it. Let the man go free so I can hunt him down. But no, I am offered the tail end of the puzzle. The promise of intrigue gone. What have I now?
Well, you still have me. Oh, and the mystery of the hat.
Exactly, Watson. I have nothing. Whatever is the matter?
Oh, it isn't anything. Just a little grit in my eye.
Hang on.
What is it?
Behold, the figure at my threshold. The slouched shoulders, the weary pace. Why, it's Inspector Lestrade. Cabby! Lestrade, my dear chap.
Holmes! Oh, I didn't expect
To see me here, at my own home?
I meant...
You look pale, man. Is everything all right?
No, There is something troubling him, no doubt. Yet, here he lingers, in two minds. Is this worth Holmes' attention, he wonders? Lestrade, let me be the judge. Confess.
Oh, it's that damn fool Gregson. He's landed the biggest case in the country. What's more, he's only gone and solved it, too.
Yes, the Blue Carbuncle. I'm intimately familiar with it.
The less said, the better.
That case was mine.
I'm afraid I don't intend to entertain any more talk of the Carbuncle and all its spreading misery.
Misery? You don't know the half of it. I've been landed with one of the most half-baked cases you've ever heard of in your whole life. Whilst Gregson is off seeking fame and fortune.
Half-baked?
Well, that's why I'm here. There's a maniac on the loose.
A maniac?
Sure enough, he'd been breaking into people's houses and stealing the Christmas dinner.
Only the Christmas dinner?
Only the Christmas dinner. Well, only the goose, actually.
And you promise you've made no arrests?
No arrests, no. No bloody suspects, Mr. Holmes. I don't want to bother you with something so trivial, but there's been 4 break-ins already.
Lestrade, my fine fellow, come inside. There's no triviality where dinner is concerned.
It was at that moment I saw the sparkle return to my friend's eye. He bolted 2 steps at a time to his lodgings, and with a flourish sat to absorb the tale of our comrade Lestrade.
Lestrade, what know you so far?
Well, very little, really. Only the maniac comes in the dead of the night, disturbs nothing but the pantry, and leaves with a goose.
How fantastic!
Oh, that's not even the most fantastic part. You'd think after going to all that trouble to steal the damn thing, he'd then take it home and eat them. Far from it. In each of the 4 cases so far, the carcass was found mutilated a short distance from the break-in.
In what way mutilated?
The breast slit open, crudely.
Who could possibly hate geese so badly? Lunacy, textbook lunacy. What do you think, Holmes?
I think that whatever our stranger's motives may be they understandable or not, they are particular. That is to say, there is method in this madness.
I don't know whether this would be the kind of thing you'd like to assist with.
My dear Lestrade, you have brought me a fine case, and we'll waste no more time here discussing it. I accept. Lead the way.
To where, Holmes?
Why, the scene of the first burglary, of course. Haste, hurry, the night draws in, and so its spectres tease themselves out. There is a maniac loose in London, and in the night he hunts. Holmes, away!
And now a word from our sponsor.
Are you feeling tired and lethargic? Then do I have...
Stop. Now just wait a minute, Mrs. Hudson. You can't read out our message from the kind people at Winslow's Medicinal Tonic Company like that.
Can't I?
No, sirree. Why, you're almost falling asleep into the microphone.
Oh, well, I've been so tired recently. The festive season really takes its toll. If there's not puddings to steam, there's presents to wrap. If there's not geese to stuff, there's nuts to toast. And I've had enough of it. Christmas is cancelled this year at 221B Baker Street.
Come now, Mrs. Hudson. There's no need to be a regular old Ebenezer Scrooge about it.
If only I had another pair of hands.
Well, luckily for you, Mrs. Hudson, the good people at Winslow's Medicinal Tonic Company understand your struggle. That's why they've created Winslow's Energizing Pep Tonic.
Winslow's Energizing Pep Tonic?
Yes, Winslow's Energizing Pep Tonic. It's like having 4 hands. Why not try some yourself?
Delicious.
Made from 100% natural ingredients, Winslow's Energizing Pep Tonic will surely put the spring back in your step.
I feel like I could work as hard as orphans.
Made to a time-tested secret recipe, Winslow's energizing pep tonic is sugar-free and comes in 3 zippy flavors: lively lemon, startling strawberry, and agile apple. And it only contains 1 pound of cocaine per gallon.
It's so Moorish.
Other benefits include a bright and cheerful disposition, increased confidence, and paranoid hallucinations of insects crawling over your skin. Once you've tried Winslow's energizing pep tonic, you'll never be the same again.
I suppose we'll have Christmas this year after all.
Winslow's energizing pep tonic, available now at your local pharmacy. And now back to tonight's play, Sherlock Holmes and the Adventure of the Blue Carbuncle.
On the 12th day of Christmas, my true love gave to me 12 drummers drumming, 11 lords a leaping, 10 drummers drumming, 9 ladies dancing, 8 something, 7 Christmas somethings, 5 golden rings, 4 calling birds, 3 French hens, 2 turtle doves, and a partridge in a pear tree.
I say, bravo, bravo! Just like a songbird.
No, stop it. You'll have me blush.
No more, no more.
An encore? Did someone ask for an encore?
No.
I think I shall do Oh, come all ye faithful.
And then ding dong merrily on high.
Or Silent Night.
Gentlemen, all 3, hit it. Oh, come all ye faithful, joyful and triumphant.
I don't want to interrupt your...
It's Miss.
I'm terribly sorry. Miss Wright.
Ooh, right, actually.
Pardon me?
Ooh, right. The ooh isn't silent.
Oh, I see. Miss Ooh Wright. You're the matron of this orphanage, I understand.
Yes, the poor dears. I provide them with food, shelter, and somewhere to rest their weary heads.
What a good heart you have.
It's not easy work, you understand, but essential. Times are hard, gentlemen. Have you seen the price of gruel these days? Here's one of the little dears now with our champagne.
Pale and angel-faced youth stepped through the door. He must have been no older than 7, middle-aged by orphan standards. He rested heavily on his crutch and bore in his porcelain hands an ice bucket of the best and most expensive pink champagne.
Your champagne, miss?
Oh, this is a new boy. His father is in prison. Terrible miscreant. Dreadful scoundrel. It's in the blood, I say. You can tell this pep has the same defect in him. Evil to the core. Nobody move. He'll savage us.
And what's your name, little fella?
Tiny Tom, sir.
Stand back, Doctor. He has that wicked glint in his eye. Whatever you do, don't turn your back on him.
Tiny Tom, eh? Well, I'm here with Inspector Lestrade and the famous Sherlock Holmes to work out what's happened to your Christmas dinner.
Christmas dinner, sir?
Yes, the goose. The one that got stolen.
It was him. Jacuz, Tiny Tom. He stole the goose. The terror. The horrors out of which I live. No, Tiny Tom, I beg of you, do not kill me and my guests. Mercy, if only you had asked for a slice of goose, I'd have given it to you. I'm too beautiful to die.
On that matter, this goose, the reason I am here...
Mr. Holmes?
Be careful, Mr. Holmes. His beady eyes have locked on to you. It'll only be a matter of time before he steals your goodies and guts you from stem to stern.
I've made you an extra special Christmas treat. Warm gingerbread men to brighten everyone's Christmas spirits. Now my daddy's in Pentonville, I've dedicated my little life to making others happy. Would you like a gingerbread man, sir?
Oh, delicious.
No, Dr. Watson. He's probably filled them with all kinds of exotic poisons. No, not on my watch. Stand back, gentlemen. I'll save you.
I'm sorry, miss. I only wanted to...
Leave us be, I beseech you. Have you no heart? Why must you and all these other orphans torment me night and day? I am an English woman and will not stand for it. Back up the chimney with you.
Oh, not the chimney.
Up you go.
Can we at least turn the fire off first?
Nonsense. A bit of charring never hurt anyone.
It's dark in here.
Up. Orphans these days. Now where were we, gentlemen?
The goose, Miss Wright.
You call me Pahebe.
Pahebe.
The P isn't silent.
Well, Miss Pahebe, this goose, you told Lestrade you heard a bang in the night. Is this correct?
Right.
I thought it was all right.
Yes, all right. That's right.
Right.
A bang in the night. That must have been very frightening, Phoebe.
Pahebe. The P.
Yes, all right. The P isn't silent.
All right.
No, I said all right, not all right.
Oh, I see.
Continue, Pahebe.
I burst through the door, negligee blowing in the winter breeze.
And what of your dog?
No, he wasn't wearing a negligee.
But where was he? Why didn't he attack the intruder?
Oh, he was asleep. He'd had a late night at his book club.
So your Christmas goose was stolen?
Gone. It could be Tiny Tom, or maybe one of the other orphans. Dopey Sue or Wonky Brendan.
I think it's unlikely.
Tell me, where did you purchase the goose?
Why, from Mr. Breckenridge of Covent Garden.
Did you say Breckenridge?
Yes. Is it important?
Perhaps not. It's only that one of the other stolen geese was bought from Breckenridge too.
Holmes, a clue perhaps?
Perhaps. Lestrade, I think you'd better make some inquiries as to the origin of our third and fourth geese, whereas Watson and I will attempt to discover the secret of Mr. Breckenridge's fowl.
No, Holmes. I think Lestrade should go with you.
Don't be ridiculous, Watson.
You're not leaving me already, are you? Leaving me all alone with a bottle of champagne and questionable moral?
I'm afraid so, Miss Allright.
Oh, all right.
That's what I said. Duty calls. Away with you, Lestrade. We are to Breckenridge.
Afternoon, miss. Have a butcher's at me wares. We've got your beef, sirloin, shin and flank. We've pickled tongue and silver side, forerib, topside, rump. And as for lamb, we got it all. Shoulder, forequarter, leg and breast. Try me crown, me chump, me cheek, though I like me cutlets best. How about these trotters? Pork have we, ocken hand and spring, bacon, belly, cheek and jowl, sausage, a dozen per string. And as for poultry, look no further. Chicken, pheasant, pigeon, duck, here's your goose, your turkey, head off, gutted, plucked. Hearken thou, where to for fine eats? Breckenridge, purveyor of fine meats.
Holmes, I really think Lestrade should have accompanied you.
Nonsense, Watson. I won't have it.
It's just that
Well, look what we have here.
I already know Mr. Breckenridge.
If it isn't little Master Watson.
He seems nice enough.
Little light-fingered Master Watson.
Ah, I see.
Mr. Breckenridge.
Oh, yes, I remember it well. Not this hour were he when young Master Watson come round here with his thieving ways. Do you know, he pilfered from me not one, but two of Mrs. Breckenridge's noteworthy pork pies. 2, say I. 2! Well, sure as sure can be, sure as a fish loves water, sure as a monkey likes nuts, sure as that, I reddened his cheeks. Oh, yes, I said, Master Watson, how dare you steal not one, but 2 of Mrs. Breckenridge's noteworthy pork pies?
I'm sorry, sir.
How dare you go running round the lane and me having to chase you with me cleaver?
Sorry, sir. Terribly sorry.
How dare you drop Mrs. Breckenridge's sweet salty pastry upon the cobbles?
Sorry.
Well, it's all forgotten now, isn't it? All behind us. Even though I told you never to darken me doorstep at this side of forever. It's all over, isn't it?
Yes, sir. All over, sir.
Good. Keep your hand where I can see 'em.
What an extraordinary situation. I hope you intend to behave yourself in this place.
I was 6, Holmes.
Aye, and his rump is still glowing red to this day.
Oh, it still haunts my every waking moment, undercutting every joy I've ever felt.
Mr. Breckenridge, if only I had known of my companion's iniquitous nature, I may have saved us some embarrassment. I came to purchase a bird. Last evening, I had the pleasure of dining upon one of your delicious geese with Miss Urite, a fine, if grammatically confused woman. She directed me to you, and here I am.
Oh, yes, sir. Geese? We haven't many left. What with it being Christmas and all.
I shall take every last one.
Good heavens.
I trust they are from the same supplier as the one I dined upon yesterday.
No, I'm afraid not, sir. More trouble they were worth, them birds were. But I can wrap what we've got for you.
No, that won't do. It must be the exact same breeder. Perhaps if you could provide me with their address, I could see if they...
Not you and all.
Stand back, Holmes. He has that bottom-smacking look about him.
I've had it up to here. People have been poking their noses into my geese all week.
You'll not sit for a week.
Come now, Breckenridge. Whatever do you mean?
Some busybody was round here, desperate to know who I'd sold them to. He even jumped the counter to get a look at my order book. Oh, no, sir. Not be having any of that business in my shop. You know what happens to people who jump my counter, don't we, Master Watson? Be off with you, both of you. Clear off.
Now, hang on just a...
Out. Out.
Very well. Good day to you. Watson, here, collect your £5. I suppose you were right after all.
Right?
Yes, you've won our little bet.
A bet? What bet?
No, Mr. Breckenridge, don't trouble yourself. The matter is settled. Watson here had heard that this illustrious bird was country-grown. I disagreed. I believed it was grown by an expert city breeder. Watson was insistent, so was I. But as you are unwilling to supply us the details of the breeder, I must trust that Watson had heard correctly. And so I give to my friend, the thief who stole from you 2 noteworthy pork pies 30 years ago, his winnings, here on the threshold of your magnificent shop. Watson, here you are the superior man. Behold the victor.
Ah, just wait a minute. Country grown indeed. I can tell you now that this goose you're so excited about was grown right here in the centre of London.
No, the matter is settled.
Here, look, it's in my order book. 12 geese bought December 18th, Mrs. Oakshott. 117 Brixton Road. City grown. Now, give this fine gentleman his £5, you scoundrel.
But I...
Hand it over. Thieves never change.
Thank you, Mr. Breckenridge. You have been invaluable.
No problem, sir. Merry Christmas.
Thank you, Mr. Breckenridge. Merry Christmas.
Holmes, I'm so embarrassed. I...
Come, we'll never speak of this again.
Breckenridge, purveyor of fine meats, behold the goods I provide. Though watch your little sticky digits, for red I'll tan your hide. Glowing hot your cheeks will be, radiating bare. See these cheeks for miles and miles of Breckenridge. Beware.
Here, this must be the place.
Do you really think there's something special about Mrs. Oakshott's geese, Holmes?
My friend, time will tell. Though I suspect it is neither coincidence nor accident that the befouled birds originated here. Mrs. Oakshott!
Perhaps she's out. What the? Why, look, Holmes. It's an adorable little goose friend. Oh, and he's carrying a letter.
A letter? Hand it here.
Oh, yes. I'll just extract it from him. Carefully. You're a friendly little goose, aren't you? Yes, you are. Yes, you are. Ah, the letter. Safe and sound. Not even a single peck.
Good.
Holmes! Help me!
Quiet, I'm trying to make it out.
What's all this noise going on out here then?
Mrs. Oakshott,
Yes?
a letter for you.
Why, thank you, sir. Are you there? Stop manhandling my goose.
He's a killer!
Nonsense! He's my ickle baby, he is. Hands off. Oh, over here, Simon. Come and sit next to Mummy. Not anywhere near that nasty old brute. Yes, my love, it's all right now.
I assure my companion had no ill intentions towards the bird.
No, and he better not and all. I'll put my foot in him.
It's a rather fantastic bird you have there, Mrs. Oakshott. Fine and plump, and he even delivers letters.
Well, he's different to me other geese, is Simon. More like a dog, really. Trained him to do the post.
Outstanding!
You have other geese?
Yes, I breeds them, I do.
Wait a second. Confound it, Watson. How stupid I am. This is Mrs. Oakshott. Watson, surely it cannot be. We are in the presence of one of the most talented goose breeders in all of London.
You mean the Mrs. Oakshott?
Aye?
Come now, do not feign modesty when you alone have raised the art of goose and gander husbandry to such heights as Houdini has vanishing. Tell me, I beg of you, Mrs. Oakshott, divulge unto me the secret by which you have grown your sublime geese.
Well, let me think. I feeds them their slop every morning and every night. Nothing special about that. And I gives them all the space out in the yard, I does. Nothing much special about that either, to be honest.
Come now, there must be something you do that makes your geese so different.
Well, maybe it's the hatching.
Oh, yes?
I hatches them myself, yes. I took the eggs, I did, and I put them all in a big pile. Then I bent over and rolled up my skirts, and I sat on them till they were good and ready to hatch. And when I felt their prickly pecking upon my behind, I got up and there they all were, 40 new baby chicks.
No wonder this one is cross-eyed.
And may I say they've grown into fine birds.
Then I'd read them bedtime stories and show them how to do jigsaws. I'd dress them up. Then as they got older, I'd collect their feathers and then I would pretend to be a goose too. Sometimes I'd experience a dream where I was a goose myself, and I would finally find a young handsome gander, and we'd press our bills together. Later we'd marry. We were so happy.
Mrs. Oakshott.
That is until he starts coming home from the late a little later than usual. I ask him how his day was. He hunks back nothing in return. But I see the telltale red bill marks on his neck, and I know it's another goose. One of those German-laying geese from the wrong side of the reeds. Well, nobody makes a fool of Mrs. Oakshott. He says I'm paranoid, but deep down I know he loves her.
What a lovely story, Mrs. Oakshott.
My mind was made up for murder. Nobody would ever know. Nobody ever suspects the goose. So that night he fell down the stairs, thump, thump, dead. I dissolved his body in acid and nobody asked any questions at all. Nobody asked a thing. It was a perfect crime, but I know what I've done. I know it. I hear those thumps in every moment of me waking soul. The spectre on the stairs. Honk, honk, he says to me, but I say nothing. I cannot. But as for raising these goose, no, nothing special.
Holmes,
Mrs. Oakshott, I would like to buy from you all your remaining geese, and for double their sale value.
Oh, sir, I'd hate to tone down an offer such as that, but I've got none left, sir. I sold them all last week to Mr. Breckenbridge.
You said there were 14.
Well, yes. One was for my brother Jem, and the other is Simon. And he's not for sale, mind you. He's my lovely little feathery philololop.
Watson, I think it's time to go. Thank you for your time, Mrs. Oakshott, although...
Sir?
I wonder, do you think I could borrow Simon from you for a day or two? I'd happily recompense you for the time. Would £10 do?
£10 for Simon?
All right then, 20. You drive a hard bargain.
Deal! But you better not harm him in any way, mind. He's my special little pork pie.
You have nothing to fear. Pay the good woman, Watson.
me?
Oh, thank you. You can come round any time, mister. You've been lovely to talk to.
Farewell.
What on earth do you want this goose for, Holmes?
It seems evident. It seems evident to me that there is nothing particularly special about these oak-shot birds at all. Further examination is required, and this is, to my knowledge, the last living specimen. We'll send a telegram to Lestrade immediately, so as to obtain a list from Breckenridge as to whom these 12 geese were sold to. Then we must hasten to Baker Street, where I can conduct my study.
Oi, you can't come barging in here
I
like...
have to see Mr. Holmes on a matter most urgent.
Oh, really?
Really. I have a problem with my shats.
You want Dr. Watson for that?
Mrs.
Hudson.
Mrs. Hudson, I will not leave this place until Mr. Holmes has the shats and gives it to me.
I beg your pardon?
You're hiding the shats from me. Mrs. Hudson, I command you to give me the shats.
My shats are my own private affair.
I'm so sorry. I'm growing hysterical.
I'm calling the police. They'll have just the place for you. Nice cell somewhere.
Quiet! I am your Prince Albert, consort to Her Majesty Queen Victoria of the United Kingdom of Great Britain and Ireland, Queen, Defender of the Faith, and Lover of the Shats.
Oh, aye. And I'm Isambard Kingdom Brunel.
Really? Then why are you dressed as a female housekeeper?
I have a very exciting private life.
I'm not sure whether to believe you. For one, Isambard Kingdom Brunel is clean-shaven.
Listen, if you're Prince Albert, prove it.
Very well. The royal seal.
Oh, mercy me, if it ain't Prince Albert himself. Sir, your Majesty, oh, I am sorry. Forgive me, if it is the shats you want, it is the shats you shall have. I've got some leftover halibut pie that will do just the trick.
What are you talking about, Isambard?
Quick, Watson. We'll need to secure this goose. I have been devising a method I think may help us get to the bottom of this peculiar mystery. Hold him at the desk.
What will you do?
Why, are you familiar with the work of Franz Mesmer, the 18th century German doctor who devised the study of animal magnetism?
Why, yes, that's mesmerism, isn't it?
Precisely. With what I have come to understand from his study, with the correct stimulation we may urge this bird to reveal its innermost secrets. Do be careful not to trip over Prince Albert.
Certainly. Should we... Prince Albert, Your Highness.
Pay him no attention, Watson.
You have come
to see if I have reconsidered your offer. I have not.
He's mad, mad.
I will pay double what I offered.
Holmes, double?
No.
Triple.
Never.
I will have you made the Lord.
Think of it, Holmes.
Have my shats instead, sire.
It would be madness to refuse.
Madness.
Enough! I have already declined your offer, and no promise of wealth nor title will steer me from that decision. I have other more pressing work.
What could be more pressing than the task for your queen and country?
Well, firstly, I'm going to hypnotize this goose.
You're going to... Did I hear you right? You're going to hypnotize her?
A goose, yes.
You really are mad, aren't you?
Yes, utterly insane. Good day. Watson, my pendulum, if you please.
Don't listen to him, sire. I'll do it if he won't. Make me Baroness Hudson.
Mrs. Hudson, isn't there a goose for you to be stuffing? Away!
Very well, Mr. Holmes, as you desire, although I...
Yes?
Nothing.
You have ruined Christmas, Mr. Holmes. You should see the Queen in tears.
I have already advised you of the best course to find the blue carbuncle. Place an advert in the Times, promise a handsome reward, and the stone will surely be returned to you.
You leave me no option. Merry Christmas, Mr. Holmes. I pray you are as gifted with a more understanding disposition.
Holmes, don't you feel even a little compassion for the man?
Compassion, Watson? Are you not fully acquainted with the desolation of the city? We are the most powerful civilization in all of history, and yet, count the beggars south of the river. The workhouses, the orphaned and maimed, the slums of the East End, the opium dens, the prostitutes of Whitechapel, and all the hungry and mad amongst them. How many beggar children die before adulthood? It is not something in the blood that differentiates the wealthy from the poor. You are a doctor. It is not biology which determines whether one ages in opulence or in soot. The Carbuncle could feed a nation. My guilt is absolved. I experience no compassion for those who weep for stones and little else.
Holmes.
Hold the bird. I shall persuade the bird into an anodyne state of calm, and then, perhaps, he shall take us on a...
Wild goose chase?
I rather hope so. I shall count backwards from 10, and when I reach 0, he will be in a compliant state. 10, 9, 8, 7. You are feeling very sleepy. 6, 5, 4. All your worries are melting away. 3, 2, 1.
Mr. Holmes!
Mrs. Hudson, what is the meaning of this intrusion?
I can't believe it, sir.
What is it?
I was stuffing the goose downstairs and... It's a diamond, sir. A great blue diamond. I found it in the goose.
Holmes!
The blue carbuncle.
Will Sherlock Holmes find the goose mangler? Will Prince Albert ever get his shats? Will Tiny Tom ever find his way out of the chimney? All these answers and more in the next exciting installment of Sherlock Holmes in the Adventure of the Blue Carbuncle. This recording has been a production by Talbot Little Theatre.